Viva! Follow that, bitches. Oh, I'm sorry. I mean, who would like to go next?
Welcome to the Will and Grace After Party. I'm Kristin Dos Santos, and I am joined by some super fans. We just witnessed the return of Leo, and ugh, you guys, he took my heart. Did he take your heart? Right? That was rough. But before we get into that, we had the chance to sit down with next week's special guest star, Jane Lynch. I love her. Check this out.
I remember when Will and Grace premiered, I was living in Los Angeles, and I knew Megan Mullally. We had the same voiceover agent, and we had done some spots together. And so I was really happy for her. I thought it was great. And she said that, it's about two openly gay people, and the producers had said, we might get some backlash for this because it starred gay characters. And none of that happened. America fell in love with Will and Grace and Jack and Karen, and I right along with them. I auditioned for the original show. I didn't get it, and I remember it was kind of a cattle call experience, and it was for a lesbian.
You're a big Les.
I think it was just what they call a 5 under, so it was 5 lines or less. In fact, I think there was only 1 line, and I was shuffled through, shuffled out, and never heard from them again. So it's really nice to, I have more than 5 lines, I'll have you know, and it's really nice to be back, to be a part of the show now. It's so joyful to work with these actors because they are so at the top of their game. They know this format. There's nothing on TV as good as this. It was good back then, and it's still as good now. And being surrounded by these people who are just make it look so easy. It's like I'm in the hands of great writers, great actors. I have funny things to say. And so I'm real chill and real happy. And this is how I wish I could approach every job. But it is, it's a well-oiled machine. What's the name of Grace's design firm? Well, this is an easy one. It was, I have no idea what it is.
What?
Grace Adler Designs. Come on, it's so obvious. Why wouldn't I get that? Shame on me. Who has the alias Anastasia Beaverhausen? Very, very easy.
Don't call me by my real name. Call me by my alias, Anastasia Beaverhausen.
Matt Damon played a singer in the Gay Men's Chorus. Jack found out his secret. What was it?
What's the one thing that could keep him out of the Gay Men's Chorus?
His character was not gay. He was straight. He just liked to sing with the gay chorus.
Is one of the most instantly recognizable sets in TV history, and joining me now is the woman who puts the cred in credenza. See what I did there? Not my finest. We have you, Glenda Rovello. We're so happy to have you.
Happy to be here.
Now, you worked on the show from the very beginning, right? Since the pilot?
Yes, I was on the original pilot.
A lot of people were floored when they saw that Vote Honey video. That the set looked exactly the same, and of course the actors didn't look like they changed at all. But how did that happen? Did you preserve everything in a little time capsule? And how did you recreate it to be exactly the way that it was?
Right after we finished in 2006, the set went to Emerson College, and it was on display there for many years. And when that life of it had ended, it went to a storage unit in the Valley.
So when the show was coming back, what was your goal in updating Will's apartment?
From the very first conversation we had about the reunion show, Max Mutchnick was very clear. He said that the minute people saw the set, when they turned on their television, they needed to know exactly where they were. They needed to recognize Will's apartment.
And it also makes sense that he hasn't moved because it's New York City. And if you get an apartment like that, you stay there for life.
Exactly.
Right?
Yes, yes. It's an amazing apartment.
Same reason that Rachel and Monica never moved. It all makes sense to me. There's another picture of a guy in there. Who's that guy?
Who knows?
You don't know? No, you don't know?
Wait, are you talking about the guy next to the fireplace, Ricky Ricardo?
I believe, yes, Ricky Ricardo.
Oh, Ricky Ricardo.
Yes.
That's what our department has always called him, but most people think it's Will. But we've always called him Ricky Ricardo.
Okay. Now there is something sort of surprising on the set, I understand, in the reunion show that you brought to show us today, which maybe, I don't know if the eagle-eyed people at home have seen or not, but it's an Easter egg, right?
It's an Easter egg.
All right, show us. What is it?
Yeah. This is on the upstage wall next to that antique
Oh my
desk.
God, I see what it is now.
And it's been there since the pilot. It's a dancing condom and diaphragm.
Oh my God! I thought it was like a sock and a jellyfish,
Yeah.
but there we are. That's amazing. I think we all need this in our lives, in our house.
Yeah,
Yes.
who really doesn't need it?
So for anybody at home who wants to try to replicate Will's style, what would your number one tip be?
I think it's a tailored apartment.
Yes.
And I think he goes for quality.
Okay.
So quality and you know, he doesn't change things all the time. It's not frozen in time either.
Right.
So buy the things you love.
Okay, you guys, next week's episode looks amazing. It's actually one of my favorite yet. So check it out. We have an exclusive sneak peek.
Honey, why are you making me go to work on a Saturday? I should be home making love to Stan and watching cartoons.
I love cartoons.
You heard what we were talking about?
No.
Jack, why do you have to use my shower?
4 reasons. 1, your water pressure's better. 2, you've got that hand attachment that gets all those fun to reach areas. And 3 through 4, I've had 2 dates this week with a bear who clogged my drain.
Since when are bears your thing? I thought you were into twinks, twunks, and everything else that Dr. Seuss didn't write about.
All right, now I want to hear what you guys thought about this episode, because in addition to the return of Leo, which I'm still working through my feelings on, we saw a softer side of Karen and we saw a whole new side of Jack, right? So what did you think about Jack the teacher? Do you think that that's something he should keep doing? Do you want to see more of that?
Absolutely. Like, I'm a little scared that he might not be acting anymore, but he's kind of playing the role of a teacher.
Right.
And remember Zandra, his acting teacher? I feel like she would say, "Get work when you can, honey."
Right, of course,
Like,
yes.
yeah.
Also, I should say, like, I would send my kids to Jack the teacher.
Absolutely.
Like, the way he got that kid to sing
Oh my gosh.
in 5 seconds.
Adorable.
I mean,
Yeah.
that takes talent.
He just brings it right out of them.
It was all Jack. It
yeah,
was all Jack.
all Jack.
What did you think about Karen's softer side? Do you like your Karen Walker nice or nasty?
To love Karen, you have to be ready to accept both, because she's got both. If you look at her relationship with Rosario, they love each other, you know,
Right.
but that looks like all this banter back and forth, and sometimes it gets really questionable, right?
Right.
But and for those of us who love her, we know that we know the Anastasia Beaverhausen, right?
Right.
And
Yes.
that's who we're like waiting for, you know. What's that? What's that? You know, all of that. We're waiting for that. So
Right.
I like both. And this episode was nice to show the soft side, but you have to have really thick skin to do
Right.
it.
By the way, your shirt really could just have the Karen on it. You're like a huge Karen fan, right?
I love Karen. She tells it like it is, and you
Yeah.
have to be ready to hear that. You have to have really thick skin to deal with her.
Okay, now we need to talk about Leo in this episode because I have a lot of conflicting feelings, you guys. But when Harry Connick Jr. was on set, we actually sat down with him and he told us this about what he thinks about Grace and Leo.
This is Harry Connick Jr. on behalf of Leo Marcus. Give the guy another chance. He's really a good guy, and he may not show it on the show, but I think secretly he really wants to get back together with you. So, you know, I'm just putting a good word in for Dr. Leo.
Okay, so what do you think? Should she give him another shot?
No.
Poor Harry.
All respect to Harry Connick Jr.
Okay.
I think you're great. I don't feel as if the third time's the charm for them.
Right.
The
Why do you
first-
think it wouldn't work?
Well, I mean, the first time he cheated, the second time, that trust clearly was an issue.
Right.
And I don't think it's going to magically resolve itself. As Grace said at the end of the episode, you know, there's somebody else out there for both of them. And I would like to see her be happy.
Okay, now Nada, I want to know what you think. Do you think that Grace and Will have an unusually close relationship that makes it so that they can't actually find anybody else and be happy with them?
Yeah, so it is hard, definitely relatable for me. I see Leo's point of view and I definitely see Grace's point of view. And I have a best friend and a boyfriend, and they don't get along either because I'm close with both of them. And it's hard because I just want everyone to get along. I'm trying to be the peacemaker. I'm stuck in the middle. And let's just say it's super dramatic at the moment. I have to hang out with each of them separately. So
Okay,
we
like
can't-
equal time, equal
Yes,
love.
we can't be in the same
Okay,
room
this
together.
might be a really awkward moment, but I have to ask. There is a gentleman sitting right there wearing the same shirt who's been
yeah.
ordering your drinks tonight. So, is this the boyfriend or the best friend?
This is my best friend.
Okay, but thank you for sharing all your thoughts and feelings about Leo and helping me work a little bit out of my own feelings. Last week we asked you guys what you thought about Will and Jack getting together, which I can't even say without, there's a little hairy thing in the back of my throat when I say that. The resounding answer was no. And David Good said if Will and Jack got together, it would be a disaster. Like literally call FEMA, right? Like it's like done and done. Okay, now this week in honor of Anastasia Beaverhausen, we would love to know what your alias would be. So hit us up using the hashtag AskWillAndGrace. I'm Eggplant Mumblecore. Thank you so much for being here.
It's the Will and Grace after party.
We will see you next week after the show. Bye, thank you.